He's another influencer.
Right. We've come live. Myself and Jay's fight talk. We're going to look at Chris Avila versus Benson Henderson, two UFC veterans. It is on Misfits. We're not the biggest fans of Misfits, but it's fighting, so we'll watch it. Not too sure what's going on, but how are we, Jay? All good, mate?
I'm good. Sorry, I'm just watching some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. Some fat influencer has interrupted Bad Boy Chiller Crew's set, and they are building. I'm assuming that's the next fight. And Bradford or Leeds, or it's what they do on this.
It tends to happen, doesn't it? They don't just announce fights. They kind of just have to scrap on the stage in order to get fight.
Let's be 100% honest. I'm sorry for cutting you there, Sam, but the only reason that we have come live to watch any fights on this event is because one of MMA's legends is fighting one of Nick Diaz's teammates. That's the only reason I'm tuning in.
Yeah, that's it. Nate's over, isn't he, for the fight?
Yeah. If I'd have known, I'd have gone up to Newcastle and hung around Greg's, because apparently that's where he was frequenting. I think some guy stopped him mid-jog, and then he got obviously mobbed, and he ended up getting a vegan sausage roll from Greg's. Other vegan sausage roll outlets are available if anyone wants to sponsor us.
Yeah,
Greg's,
man.
what are you saying? But yeah, so at the minute it's a hell of a lot of filler. These are not boxing events, so they don't ordinarily do 5 and 10 minute fillers. It's some kind of tournament format. We've got Idris Virgo is beat.
So Idris Virgo's just won by first round KO. Not too sure the guy who he beat.
Fez Batista.
Fez Batista, right? Oh, here you go. Yeah.
And then obviously the other semi-final is Chris Avila, Benson Henderson. For people who don't know, Benson Henderson is the former, I think, WEC and Strikeforce and UFC lightweight champion.
Benson Henderson, most famous for, well, not most famous, that's disrespectful, but very famous for the Showtime kick of Anthony Showtime Pettis. That's how a lot of people... One of the most viral.
While he had a toothpick in. Don't be surprised he's got a toothpick in tonight.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. We've got two actually genuine fighters that are going to be fighting in this next fight. Benson Henderson and Chris Avila, two guys that have fought many times in the UFC and Bellator and legit fighting organizations.
Sorry for my dog, sorry.
No, you're all good. I don't know why they're filling so much time in between these last two fights.
It's a joke, mate. It's a joke. I mean, I've been tuned in for about 15 minutes now, and it's been non-stop filler. They keep cutting to people with microphones. I recognise the guy that stood in the middle at the moment. He's fought before. I couldn't tell you his name, but I think he's an influencer / boxer. But yeah, Chris Avila, most people have probably seen him fight in Bellator. He was a Bellator sort of regular teammate of Nick Diaz. He's a decent fighter. I mean, he's had a few of these influencer boxing matches. I think this is his third or fourth. He's obviously getting well paid.
He's fighting regularly for Misfits, isn't he? Yeah, definitely. I've seen him fight.
Well, I mean, let's be real. He's probably going to get more from these than he would from Bellator, because he's not a big name in MMA, and that's no disrespect intended to him. He's not. We know him as Nick. I only took notice of him originally because Nate Diaz was at his weigh-in, and I thought, who's this kid? And then they spoke to him.
Oh, Nate's not going over, and the whole Stockton team aren't going over if it's not for a good pay. Yeah, they're not going over 10-10, are they? That's
no. He's getting a whopper for this, but the money's there. I mean, they're heavily backed, God knows by who, but the sponsorship around the perimeter are all big brands, so that won't be cheap. It's primetime TV. But at the minute, we're not seeing any fights, and that's what we've tuned in for.
Well, I think the Virgo fight ended in the first round, so I'd imagine they have a little bit of time to fill on the back of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a real fighter, though. Idris Virgo's he could turn over. I don't mean turn over, but he could probably mix it in certainly domestic level. I believe.
Yeah.
He's a good fighter. But as I say, he's not going to get paid anywhere near the amount he's getting paid tonight if he starts it, because he'd be on small hall shows or certainly curtain jerkers on big cards maybe, where he's not going to be that well paid.
Yeah, I would say so. I just don't understand what the filler is. I thought that the Idris Virgo fight finished about half an hour ago. Unless they're on
back in and fill later on when they're building up to the final.
Yeah, I'd imagine either of these would beat Virgo, would they? I don't know though. I don't know enough about Idris Virgo, to be honest.
He's not bad. He's not bad at all. He's got decent skills, a decent skill set. I believe he turned over pro first and then went to this. And I think he's done some kind of reality show, Love Island or
he's done something like that. So he's got a bit of a name.
Yeah, he's well followed on all social media platforms, hence why he gets regular fights. Right, so tail of the tape here, we've got nearly 10 years in age gap. Benson Henderson's obviously retired recently, I think, from MMA. I think
so.
Due to I don't know what those measurements were at the bottom, 51 and then 214, because if that is some form of distance between them, then the massive gap of about 106.
I'll make sure I punch him more times than he punches me. Yeah, that's
pretty simple, isn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, fair play, Benson. I think we're getting some ring walks coming, though, at last.
Looks like it, yeah. The lights are dimmed. We've got Benson Henderson coming out first.
Yeah, don't think we'd ever get there.
Keep an eye out for the toothpick.
Yeah,
Do you know it's the first time I've ever seen him with anything on his feet?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, just bear with me 2 seconds.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
All right, John, I'll just do something there. What's up? What's up? I'm not watching it.
Benson Henderson coming to the ring now while Jay sorts himself out. Obviously, very decorated mixed martial arts career. Retired recently from MMA and is making his way now in the Misfits scene at the ripe old age of 40 years old.
I'm back. Sorry.
You're back. All credit to Benson Henderson. He could have rode off into the sunset, but he's out in Newcastle in sunny old England, fighting on a Misfits card against Chris Avila. Do you know what? I've got no problem with MMA fighters fighting MMA fighters. I've no problem with it.
No, these are two real fighters. Benson Henderson's done it all. He's fought a who's who. His resume is second to none. He was the man at one stage for a year or two. In the mid 2000s, Benson Henderson was the boy. And people aspire to get to him to be still doing it at a top level. Because Chris Avila's no mug either. I think he's got I won't say a 5-5 MMA record, but it's he's got a fair few losses, but he's got some decent wins as well. He's
tough. He literally, I know he's best mates with him, but he literally is like a less skilled version of Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah. His output's not as high, but he does the same kind of 50% constant, 50% just touching
volume and pressure. But it's not.
And he's got an awkward style for boxing because he's so jiu-jitsu heavy. I'm assuming he's a black belt. I think he is. He'll definitely be a brown belt if he's part of that team. As soon as they engage, it can lock their arms and sort of manipulate his weight, but he'll come unstuck against Benson. So I think Benson's a black belt as well in BJJ, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, they're not going to go to the ground, but it does have an impact in terms of when they're in close, where they'll position their arms, how they'll hold and manipulate and move their opponent. I'm actually interested in this fight. It's two mixed martial artists boxing.
Yeah, just to see how it translates.
Ian John Lewis there.
How many rounds? Is it probably a 4 or 5? Yeah, it's Ian John Lewis, ref.
Yeah, you should have seen it last week. He did an event either last week or the week before, and I saw the end to the fight, and it got given. It wasn't correct anyway. I think it was given a draw, and it should have gone to somebody else. And Ian John Lewis's face, it's obvious he's only there for money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He was absolutely mortified that he had to sort of raise both guys' arms. But again, refs are not that well paid either. You know, he's up and down the country 5-6 nights a week, you know, doing the small halls and the big shows. He's probably getting a couple of months worth of wages in one night here, if not more.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of backing in these Misfits shows. There really does.
But they do numbers. I mean, if they don't do physical bums on seats, they certainly do streams.
Well, I've heard it's going to be, they done 13,000 the other week on it was a pay-per-view, Danny Simpson against someone, the old footballer.
Benchalongs's not getting those numbers. Benchalongs's not getting those numbers unless he puts two big hitters at the card.
13,000 in the arena, and then it was pay-per-view as well. And it
That's the fight. That's the fight. Sorry, Danny Simpson should have lost that fight, and they gave it a draw. And he was just to raise his opponent's hand, and they called it a draw. And he sort of went, "Oh God."
Yeah, that was it.
You know, right, lads. I think we're going now. So we've got John Lewis just giving him the final instructions.
Chris Avila looks like he hasn't done one run in camp.
He's always fleshy though. He's always fleshy. I don't think he gets up for these. To be honest, I think he had just paid this. This is probably his toughest Misfits fight. Can you hear me over these dogs?
Yeah, man.
Get down.
Special guest on the live stream tonight, right? We're underway, are we? Yeah, underway. Benson Henderson's incredibly lean. Look at his calves.
It looks very tentative, though. He
does. Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable at all, does he?
There's a massive weight difference. You can see that Avila's weight many kilos above.
Yeah.
He's rocking the dad board.
He is rocking the dad board nicely. He got Southpaw versus Orthodox.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Me feel good about myself anyway. Chris Avila, God bless him.
We'll see who establishes the authority.
They've both caught each other with hooks. Who's
going to have the power advantage in this one?
I'd like to think of just on weight and knowing how to distribute his weight.
Yeah.
With Benson Henderson, the speed and skill set lies with him. I think he's got faster hands, but he's not a boxer. Ultimately, they're both MMA fighters. You know, they're getting into range where ordinarily they'd go for a takedown or an elbow. They're having to second guess themselves because they're having to stop and not do their automatic instinctual movement. That's why it's really tentative.
Yeah, definitely. Avila's slow, isn't it?
Yeah, Benson Henderson's timing is left over the top and catching him with it. 3 or 4
on the comms.
Good body punches there by Henderson. Avila's not doing much for me. He looks gassed already, bless him.
Yeah. He's probably got that Stockton cardio, though. I'm sure. Yeah. He's probably just triathlon 6 times a week.
You'd think so. Nate Diaz ain't going to suffer fools gladly in his gym, is he? He's not going to have hangers on. They are athletes.
I love that Nate's over for it, to be fair. I respect that.
He's real, though, isn't he? He's not just going to
go. Yeah, he is. Oh, good left by Benson. That, did you see it?
It was a good exchange, to be fair.
Yeah, it was,
Decent exchange. They both got caught with a bit of something.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I cut you up there because Benson threw that.
No. It was the best exchange of the fight, to be honest. Oh. They both got caught there.
Yeah.
They're not holding back.
No, they're not at all. I think that Idris Logo could have a field day with either of these.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Avila caught him with a cheeky right hand not so long ago, just right through. I'd imagine it's a 4-rounder. This, if they're doing like a semi-final, they're not going to do.
They can't do 10 and the 8s and 10s.
Nah, it's not. They do weird fights sometimes in this Misfits. They do like 5-rounders and stuff, but
they might let someone tag in at bloody 4 or some shit like that. Parachute somebody in and.
That southpaw left hand's there all night for Benson Henderson. I don't really know who I scored that first round for, to be honest. There's not really a lot in it.
I think Henderson for me, just on volume. Just on volume. That's all. If there was CompuBox on that, I think Henderson certainly caught him with the cleaner work. But I think Avila, there's Nate Diaz, look, with the
209.
Represent, isn't it, that Brad? Is it Represent? That's his brand.
Yeah, it's in the corner. Yeah, just loving life.
comment from DJ Pat there. Thanks for tuning in. They said 5-3s. Right.
Good man, Pat. Thanks for tuning in, sir.
Cheers,
we'll hopefully see you later on the Las Vegas show, Pat. We'll be live all night for Canelo Berlanga, the full card. Absolutely. This is just the best of the pick at the minute on the Saturday night. But, you know, I have a lot of respect for Chris Avila.
This or strictly.
Yeah. Got a lot of respect for Chris Avila and Benson Henderson, to be honest. We may look at doing the final of this tournament later, but I won't be going anywhere near any of the influencer fights. No way.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not interested in the main event.
No. Just respect, out of respect for these two guys. Had the schedule free, so. But yeah. How do you are you watching the whole card, Pat? Are you watching the whole Misfits card here? Or are you watching are you staying up for the Canelo Berlanga card later, or are you gonna watch it in the morning? I know it's not a cheap pay-per-view. I was saying that I think Pat's in Sweden, isn't he? So what's the price of pay-per-view over there? Luckily, hopefully it's not 89. Is this the best on this card then? Yeah, I would say so. The rest of it's pretty much influencer boxing, but these two are absolute veterans of the MMA world, multiple UFC, Bellator fights.
Believe it or not, these two are professional fighters. Believe it or not.
Oh, dear. Love it. Right. Benson trying to land some left hands, but it's just a bit scrappy so far.
They're absolutely going for it.
Pat saying, no, not this one. Might check prelims. 210 SEK, I'm assuming that's the currency. What would that work out in pounds, Pat? Hopefully it's not too. Oh, good shot by Avila there.
Yeah, very good. Benson's struggling with his hair. His fringe is getting in his face. Not a problem I've had since the 90s.
Beautiful long locks.
Yeah, I'm absolutely jealous to death.
Oh, I love it.
I've not had a fringe since 90s, me, brother.
Oh,
come on, lads.
Right. What's going on now? Avila, bless Benson. He's trying to have a go, isn't he? But
he's trying, but he's just, Avila is very awkward. He keeps leaning. If Benson Henderson just moved back quarter inch and threw the same uppercut, he'd catch him straight.
Yeah, give himself a bit of room.
Yeah, he's allowing himself to get smothered, but he's catching him. You watch Avila dips to the right, and he'd catch him with a left uppercut. You see that? Keeps dipping as he comes in. It's not good. we bigged them up prior to them first
yeah, I know. Yeah. I know, and now it's a 5-rounder. Pat's just told us it's not even a 4-rounder. But anyway, whoever wins this is going to be in a bit of a tougher fight, I think, against Idris Virgo later on. But 2 rounds in the can, you know,
one each for me, I think.
Probably give it 1 each. Yeah.
Flip of a coin, to be honest. Very. It's not good. It's not a good watch. You know, they're spoiling a lot and smothering and holding a lot. It's not pure boxing, but you know, it's best of what we've got at 7.25 on a Saturday in the UK.
Yeah, 16 quid. DJ Pat says so. That's not bad. That's around about the same price as the UK card. That's what we pay here. Yeah, that's similar to what we're paying in the UK for this one. Pat, sorry, there's me just messing about with our new streaming service, trying to get things working on the screen. But yeah, one round all here, and Chris Avila against Benson Henderson. Winner's going to advance to this Stake Pro tournament, I think it's called. That's what's on the ring mat anyway.
That's one of the main sponsor, isn't it? Stake. I think they're a gambling site. I think a casino of some sort.
Please gamble responsibly, everybody. Obviously.
Yeah. Or don't gamble at all is probably.
Or don't gamble at all.
Again, we're in just off to the centre of the ring, holding each other. Ian John Lewis is probably the hardest working man out of the 3 tonight so far. Splitting them up every 2 seconds, but Benson's trying to catch him under his elbows. I think he too thinks that Avila is as unfit as he looks, but I don't believe he is.
Yeah, deceiving, I think, with that.
Nate Diaz is fleshy, though.
Nate is fleshy, yeah.
Nick Diaz has never been the most chiselled.
He's got himself into decent enough shape recently a couple of times.
Decent Nick.
Skinny fat, as Conor McGregor called him.
There you go. They've always got a bit of tummy flesh, haven't they?
Yeah.
They don't do much gym, as in lifting weights.
No.
Cardio work into and technique.
Oh no, these boys look terrible.
Yeah,
they look horrendous.
They could just give Idris the winner's check and call it a night, maybe.
Yeah, I think Benson most definitely in his prime was an elite mixed martial artist. I don't think Avila's ever reached those levels, but just kind of goes to show you the golfing difference, especially in kind of boxing and striking ability. That was a sneaky left by Benson, but nothing.
There's no behind it. I just don't think
exactly. You bang on the money there, Jay. That there's absolutely no weight at all behind any of the punches being thrown, and you could sign this one in now for a decision. I just don't see in any way how any of these guys are knocking each other out. So cue a knockout in the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, wabosh.
Cue a one punch KO.
Walk off knockout.
Yeah.
Stop it. Even my dogs are bored of it.
Yeah, the dog doesn't like it. Anyway, approaching the end of the third round.
They're both really, really slowing down, if that's even possible.
I think if anyone's getting KO'd here, Benson will get KO'd. I think he looks a little bit more uncomfortable. I think Chris Avila could do this kind of pace all night.
Avila should be leaning on him. He should be getting hold of him behind his elbows and leaning on him. And I think he could press Benson, and just pure exhaustion would stop him. But Benson is used to going 5-5s regularity. He's had a lot of title fights. I bet he's had 10 title fights in his career, maybe more.
Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe even more than that. Because he did. Was he not in the Strike Force and stuff as well before?
I think he was the Strike Force champion at one point.
I think he was. Yeah. There's 3 rounds in. I give that one to Benson, but at a struggle. I think he looks spent. He looks spent, to be honest with you. I think, as Pat said, there's probably 2 rounds to go in this one now. It's a 5-rounder. Said to do weird number of rounds, but if it is 2 rounds to go, Avila needs to win both of them for me. But he looks a bit fresher than Benson in there at the minute. He is 9 years his junior, in fairness. So
I'm not sure under what sanctioning body this is and whether it's a 10-round...
PBA or something it's called.
Is it a 10-point must? Because I swear if I could, I'd give that round 9-9. There's nobody's...
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to be an ass about it or disrespectful. I just don't believe that anybody stood out. It was just really sloppy and mate there, Jamie Sheldon in corner, the cutsman extraordinaire. He must be getting paid a big whack tonight because he hasn't gone to PFL. He's at Misfits. That's
Where's the PFL card?
London.
Is it? Who's headlining?
Leah McCourt and I want to say Sarah Collins, but I might have got that wrong. I do apologise.
Did hear Leah McCourt.
Number one.
Who's broadcasting that?
It's on DAZN. I've just seen it as we're looking for this, and I'm going to zip onto that, I think, after this and chill out for a bit before we go live at 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Some decent fights on it, to be fair. It's
I'll have a look
Benson
at it.
got caught then, but then came back with about 4 hooks to the body.
Yeah. Benson just looks so unnatural, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's uncomfortable.
He looks like
kick and stuff.
He looks like someone who's just laced up a pair of gloves, and I'm not anyone to say that to him because he's a champion mixed martial artist and I'm a nobody. But he just doesn't look comfortable in there for somebody with his combat experience. Put it that way.
Well, his stance is like he's ready to kick with his lead leg.
It seems like he's using a lot of energy, like nervous energy.
I think he could, he started really tentative and then he started catching Avila, and I wonder if he put a little bit too much on him. just thinking he could deal with him there and then.
Yeah.
Now he's sort of, I won't say gassing, but fatiguing. His power bars definitely.
Power bars falling. Yeah, there's not too long left in this one, to be honest. We've got a round, just over a round to go.
It's been a tough watch. It
has been a tough watch, actually. I was expecting a little bit more, and I would go as far to say I actually think Idris Virgo might stop the winner of this fight.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there, mate. I think the Marquis of Queensberry will be turning in his grave because this boxing, it is not. Like as you say, Benson Henderson just looks like a fish out of water.
He does, and Avila looks like he hasn't bothered to train, to be honest. So it's just making for a non-event, really. But anyway, we're coming towards the end of the fourth round.
Try to tough it out, I think, pair of them out there, but they're both blowing. Avila can barely bounce on his feet, and Henderson's just.
I think Benson might be nicking this round too. I really don't want to see a 40-year-old Benson going there with Idris Virgo later on tonight. I think he's going to get absolutely splattered.
By the look of him, is he going to have the bloody energy to go?
Yeah, is he going to? He might need to be wheeled out to the ring.
Oh God, I'm tired just watching it, mate. Let alone
swung for the rafters towards the final bell. Anyway, when we're on for Canelo and Berlanga later, we won't have this problem. So.
We'll have none of this, mate. They are fights. They are fights.
I actually think it's 3-1 Benson going into the final round.
I have to agree with you, man. I can't disagree. Coming up after this, for anybody that's interested, we've got Nikki Haru against Carla Jade. I can guarantee you one thing: I will not be watching that. I don't care how many followers they've got on YouTube. I've got 25, and I'm happy with them for now.
Yeah,
I'm not watching it just to say I watched it. No, I'm not. I'm tagging them in it. Good fight, girls. No, thank you. Because these are the best two fighters on the card. Who's fighting right now? Jacob Parks. Got a comment there, mate. Benson Henderson.
Jacob Parks said Benson Henderson and Chris Avila are in the final round. It's the semi-final of this state pro tournament that's going on. We've got the fight 3-1 to Benson Henderson going into the fourth. So we think Chris Avila may need a knockout, but we'll just see what the judges give if we do not get a knockout in this last round. Yeah, DJ Pat echoes you, Jay. DJ Pat's definitely not watching.
Yeah, I'm the same, brother. I think the best thing.
Thanks for tuning in, though, Pat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Best thing that's happened for me in this fight is Ollie Watkins won me captain on my fantasy football, and they've just beat Everton 3-2. So every cloud has a silver lining. Come on, Benson, turn back.
Yeah, come on.
Give us some
razzle. A couple of minutes to go in this fight for anyone. We've got 4 on with us, so thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got a couple of minutes to go in this one. Let's just see some action. Give us something to go off.
Benson's trying. I mean, he's following him around. Avia's covering to the body, so he's feeling these now.
He hasn't trained. There's no way that boy's been anywhere near a gym for this camp. At least Benson looks like he's turned up in a bit of shape.
He looked the same as he did in 2005.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, his technique's questionable, but his conditioning isn't. Well, sorry, his conditioning hasn't been great, but his actual physical appearance. Yeah,
he's trying. It's just unnatural. So he's expending energy in places that he probably doesn't need to and doesn't know how to not. He's not a boxer. As I say, this is. I'm not joking when I say this. It's the first time I've seen him with shoes on his feet. He normally walks to the cage barefoot. Obviously fights barefoot. So, it's alien for him. He's probably never not felt canvas under his feet.
Yeah.
For one, and that can have a massive effect on movement for him. He's not a boxer. I don't think he'll do this again. Well, he might have to do it again tonight.
Myself.
He's going to have to do it again tonight, I think.
He's going to have to do it again in about 2 hours, allegedly. Well, if our scorecards are right anyway, but we shall see. I'll maybe dust off the laptop and go live for the semi-final. I'll see what mood I'm in.
Oh, it's the final, isn't it?
Sorry, the final, should I say? Yeah. Why does the Diaz camp not take things seriously? I know what you mean, Jacob. They do play around a little bit. The Diaz camp,
he's there to get paid.
And that's all it is. It's payday.
He's a real fighter. So ultimately, at the back of his mind, he doesn't give a stuff. It's not real to him. And if he's getting well paid, he probably thinks, I can do 5 threes, no sweat. Just off the couch. And he obviously has. He's just done 5 threes off the couch. He lost
Billy Joe Saunders for him there.
Yeah. Chris Avila lost that fight for me.
Yeah, he did. 3-2 or 4-1. Doesn't matter really which way that last round went. I just don't see how.
No. Benson Henderson won that.
You can give Chris Avila that fight, but we'll find out in a couple of moments anyway. But that was rather uneventful to say the least. Benson Henderson dancing now in the ring, which is a good sight. Yeah.
Ngannou Ferrer advertised Saturday, October the 19th. I'm changing my fit. I think Ngannou's going to get beat, You
just don't know.
Have you seen how good that Ferrer is, though? He's very technical.
He's got serious power. Serious knockout power.
Though. Francis isn't the most technical of punchers, is he? He just wades in. If he times Francis, and we don't know how he's going to be after the AJ loss. He's never had that happen to him before.
I know his chin might have gone. He's nearly 40 as well. Because Francis had a great chin in the UFC.
He's been through a lot mentally. He lost his child and lost his...
Oh, man, he's been through, the worst things imaginable. He has, most definitely.
And I'd hate to see him go out again like that, like he did against AJ, but I fear that there's a big chance it could.
That's a one round shootout, that fight. There's no way that gets out of round 1 in a million years.
As well, I think he's Brazilian, so I'm probably going to sound prejudiced when I say this, but he's probably got some form of Brazilian jiu-jitsu as default.
Oh, yeah. He will have.
You know what I mean? Without meaning to sound disparaging or anything. It's a staple. If he gets Francis on the ground, Francis could be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
But it's his hands you've got to worry about. He's 6'8", I think.
Yeah, no, he is. He's massive. He's bigger than Francis, like 2 windmills on the field, both. Yeah. It's.
Well, I wish that if they'd have stood a bit further back from each other, they were like 2 windmills that had bloody fallen on top of each other.
Yeah. I know. So I think a decision's coming. Thanks to the 5 year that have stuck with us for most of this. Appreciate it. I know it was a tough watch. I'm sure we were a bit of a tough watch ourselves as well through that.
Our best. We really have.
Trying to make something out of what we're seeing here.
You're doing Mabel.
But we've had 21 people tune in, so thanks to the 21 people who've tuned in. They're trying to make a highlights package out of this fight here, which is good
luck.
Yeah, the person who's doing that should definitely be on some form of overtime, because if you can make that fight look interesting, then
you've got with the elbow there to the bridge of the nose on the break.
Yeah,
head clash there was about the most exciting shot of the night. So we saw 3. We saw 3 highlights.
Well, I hope you're having a great weekend, Derek Palmer, as well. Thanks for tuning in.
We've got
many more.
It will get better later on. Don't judge us on this.
We're flying to Las Vegas a little bit later, Derek. And hang on.
No thanks, Derek. No disrespect, but no thank you.
Yeah, we'll save that for another.
We don't discuss things like that on this platform. It's fight sports only.
Anyway, is this decision getting read?
I know. Yes, Jacob. It's got no relevance to us, unfortunately. We've got Kirsten. Thanks for that.
I love the comments. You gotta love it. It.
Did you hear him bring Henry Shikaku?
Yeah. It's Henry Cejudo call.
Henry went with it though. He just rolled with it.
I did. Yeah. Credit to Triple C for that.
I am so glad that YouTube does not allow us to have the volume on, because it's True Geordie and two other sausages that I don't know, but the way they're moving and acting, their voices would have made my ears bleed. Their bullshit that they've been coming out with. They don't look like they've watched a fight between them, let alone commented on one. God. I mean, True Geordie knows he's fighting. I've got to say that.
Yeah.
He is fighting.
What's with the length of time this decision's taken?
I'm assuming they're going to have bloody Stormzy or something on in a minute before the announcement.
They're going to have Bad Boy Chiller Crew playing in the ring.
Oh, give me strength. Here we go. So we've both gone for Benson Henderson points decision.
Yeah, I think Benson will get it. But...
If Avila gets this, it's not a good look. But are they bothered? Yeah,
they probably don't care. They probably want Nate hanging around for the rest of the night.
That's what I'm thinking. They can't give it a draw, obviously.
Yeah, that's a good thing about a 5-rounder, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Benson Henderson gets the points decision. It's the right result, but God.
Yeah, I do fear for Benson's immediate.
Hasn't Nate Diaz fought Benson Henderson? I'm pretty sure they fought.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Sure they did.
Well, in about 2 hours, he will be fighting Idris Virgo. Are they going to square them off?
Benson against Virgo. Is he going down to the ring? Villa will argue will most likely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll say it was a robbery or dodgy decision. The Diaz camp probably, but it wasn't. It was a fair decision.
They can say that. Yeah, they're always the because let's be real. Nate Diaz has been on the wrong side of some dubious decisions, points losses. And he'll go with that narrative. What it's us against the world, and they've done.
Oh yeah,
they might get. I hope they don't get another fight in terms of a rematch. I wouldn't want to see that again.
No, that was a tough watch.
Benson's doing it for the 40 pluses, mate. Big up.
Yeah, big up. Benson Henderson, a real OG of the fight game.
It doesn't look any different, does it? It doesn't look any different.
He's clearly taken care of himself throughout his career and all the rest of it.
I think he's into he's very spiritual, and I think
he is, man.
Health is a big thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm about to switch off in a second. I can't be watching these two. I really don't know.
No, definitely. We'll call it. I was going to say we'll call it a night there, but. This night's young for us, but we're definitely around for Canelo and a bit of UFC later. I'll see about what the story is for the rest of this. But big up Jay's Fight Talk. Thanks for joining as always, my man. Go and subscribe to the Jay's Fight Talk YouTube channel. Follow him on X at Jay's Fight Talk, and we shall see you for a little bit more entertainment. Should we say a little bit later? Just quickly, Pat Henderson probably lives in the gym or the one.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cheers, guys. We'll catch you.